You ever sit across from a woman, she's beautiful, confident, everything you thought you wanted, and your mind whispers, if I just had more money, she'd want me more. Let me break that illusion for you right now, brother. That thought is one of the most dangerous traps a man can fall into because it turns you from the prize into the pursuer. It makes you chase validation instead of commanding desire. And here's the raw truth most men will never hear. It's not your wallet that makes her crave you. It's your energy. It's the way you move, the way you hold silence, the way your presence feels like gravity, heavy, centered, unshakable. Because the truth is this, and no one wants to admit it. Women don't really want a rich man. They want a certain kind of man. A man who could be broke today, rich tomorrow, and it wouldn't change the way she looks at him. Because what turns her on isn't what you have. It's who you are. What she secretly
Craves lies deeper than status. It's primal, subconscious, ancient, and once you understand it, you'll stop chasing what you thought made you attractive and start becoming what makes her submit without understanding why. In this video, I'm going to reveal 6 hidden cravings women have, things not even they can explain out loud. And the deeper we go, the more you'll realize. If you master these, she'll follow your lead. She'll replay your words in her mind at 3:00 a.m. She'll crave your presence like oxygen, and she won't even know why. So stay with me because by the time we reach number 6, you'll become the kind of man who doesn't need money because women feel rich just being in your presence. And if you already feel this in your bones, if you know you're built for more, then pay attention till the end, because I've got something special for the few men who are ready to awaken that level of power. Oh, and before we continue, I've got something.
for you, a free ebook, The Female Mind Control Handbook. It reveals the secret triggers that make women crave your presence. Grab it now. Link in the description or pinned comment. Let's begin, brother. 1. Emotional domination. The one drug. She can't quit. Forget money. You know what she really wants? A man who knows how to emotionally dominate her without shouting, without lifting a finger. Now listen carefully. Domination here doesn't mean control or cruelty. It means emotional mastery, the ability to stay centered when others lose control. Every day she's surrounded by emotional amateurs, men who get triggered, men who overthink every text, men who start panicking the second she pulls away. But you're different. You don't flinch, you don't chase, you don't need to explain yourself to be understood. You're like fire that never begs for wood. You burn because that's just what you do. When she throws her little tests, the cold shoulder, the sarcasm, the sudden distance, you don't fall into the trap. You smile, you lean back. You say, I see you trying to stir the pot. You want attention or you want me? Boom, power shift. That's emotional dominance, not manipulation, not gaslighting, just psychological leadership. Because in every dynamic, someone leads emotionally and someone follows. And she wants to follow the man who can handle her entire storm and still not lose his grip. She obeys that man, not because she's weak, but because he's the first man strong enough not to be moved by her chaos. She starts craving your approval. She starts competing for your softness. She starts chasing your calm. Because in a world full of weak men begging for attention, your restraint becomes the rarest aphrodisiac. And here's the wild part. It costs you 0, but it's more valuable than any black card because a woman might cheat on a millionaire, but she'll kneel for the man who owns her emotionally. And if you think that's powerful, wait until you understand what happens when she can't read you. Because the most dangerous man in her life is the one she can't figure out. 2. The erotic mystery. When she can't read you, she craves you. Let's be honest, brother. Most men are an open book, predictable, easy to read. You text her back right away. You try too hard to prove you're different. You post everything you do online hoping she'll notice. But here's the cold truth. The more she can predict you, the faster she loses interest. You want to know what drives a woman absolutely insane? Mystery. Not the fake kind. The real kind that comes from depth. Because the most dangerous man in her life is the one she can't figure out. She's used to guys who play the same game. Oh, he'll get jealous here. Oh, he'll double text me now. Oh, he's just like the last one. But then you show up and suddenly her system short circuits. You don't
Chase. You don't explain. You're kind but unreadable. You flirt but never fully surrender. You touch her hand once, then walk away before she expects it. It drives her wild, not because you're playing games, but because you're living in depth. You're not performing. You're existing with purpose, presence, and control. You have layers she hasn't accessed yet, and women crave access. Access to your emotions, your thoughts, your world. When she can't predict you, Her imagination starts writing stories about you. You become the fantasy she can't stop replaying in her head. That's not manipulation. That's psychological seduction. Because here's the primal truth no one teaches modern men. Her erotic hunger isn't triggered by comfort, it's triggered by uncertainty. The tension between knowing you could want her, but maybe you don't. The silence after your gaze that says, I'm in control of what you get from me. That mystery makes her melt. It's not the bad boy act, it's masculine polarity. It's energy that whispers, I'm not like the rest. I don't chase, I choose. When you embody that, she leans in during silence. She starts overthinking every pause. She gets wet just wondering what you'll say next. That's not about looks or money. That's about magnetic uncertainty. You've become the riddle she's desperate to solve. And in the process, she surrenders. 3. Certainty. The one thing that makes her drop the bag and stay. She'll tell you she wants a man with money, a man with status. But when the lights go out and the masks drop, what she really wants is a man who's sure. Not cocky, not loud. Just unshakably certain. In a world full of boys who flinch at every setback, certainty is a luxury money can't buy. She doesn't want perfection. She wants stability. She wants a man who knows who the hell he is. A man who's been through fire, betrayal, heartbreak, failure, loss, and came out grounded. You've seen things. You've been cheated on. You've built dreams that fell apart and still rebuilt from the ashes. That's why when you walk into a room, your energy says, I've met hell and I don't fear it anymore. That's masculine certainty. And it's rare because most men fold when they are tested. They crumble when women pull away. They start explaining, apologizing, begging to be understood, not you. You stand there still, solid, composed. That's the kind of man who makes her heartbeat change rhythm. Her heart might skip for a dude in Gucci, but her soul opens for the man who doesn't blink when she throws a storm at him. Because deep down, every woman wants to feel small in your presence, not out of fear, but out of awe, out of safety, out of respect for your calm when her emotions are chaos. You don't win that kind of energy by showing her your wallet. You win it by burying your weakness in discipline and choosing strength in silence. When she feels that she respects you, when she respects you, she trusts you. And once a woman trusts your strength, she obeys without even realizing why. She starts following your emotional lead. She starts syncing her rhythm to yours because you've become her anchor. And in a world full of noise, she'll never let go of the calm. But certainty alone isn't enough. Because in a distracted world, there's one thing rarer than money, power, or looks. And that's a man who can control his attention. 4. Command over attention. The silent superpower. In today's world, attention is the rarest form of currency. Men waste it like it's nothing, scrolling, liking, chasing, reacting. But a man who can control his attention, that's a man who becomes unforgettable. Money makes noise. But true masculine attention, it's silent and surgical. You want to know why that woman you talked to once still thinks about you months later? It wasn't your clothes. It wasn't your car. It was the way you looked at her, that unbroken gaze, that calm focus that said, right now, nothing in this world matters more than this moment. That's presence. And presence is intoxicating. Because when you give her your attention, she doesn't just feel seen, she feels understood. You're not reacting, you're reading her, you're not rushing to impress, you're letting the moment breathe. Every other man is thinking of what to say next. You're tuned in. You notice the micro expressions, the shifts in tone, the subtle hesitation behind her words, and suddenly she feels studied, not judged, but seen to her core. That's what women truly crave. Not a yacht, not a Lambo, not a diamond ring, but a man whose focus slices through the noise of her world. Men spend thousands trying to impress women, but the man who masters his focus can hand her a glass of water, and she'll remember the way he looked at her more than any dinner date. Because
Here's the secret. When you master your attention, you master her submission. Your focus becomes her drug, and once she feels it, she'll crave more. She'll text first. She'll replay your conversations. She'll compete for your energy, because deep down, every woman wants to feel like the only person in the room. And when your presence gives her that feeling, brother, she's yours. Not because you chased her, but because you captured her nervous system. That's the psychology of focus. That's real attraction. 5. Quiet power, the man who doesn't need to prove a damn thing. Now, this one separates boys from men. There's a kind of man who walks into a room and before he even says a word, everyone feels it. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't flex. He doesn't need to tell you who he is because his presence does. That's quiet power. It's not loud. It's not showy. It's the kind of strength that's built through scars, not just the physical ones, but the emotional ones that don't heal easy. The heartbreaks, the losses, the nights you sat in silence, rebuilding yourself from the ground up, those moments carved you into the man you are now. And women can feel that energy. When she rests her head on your chest, she doesn't just feel your heartbeat, she feels your history, your pain, your discipline, your control. You don't post about the grind, you live it. You don't chase applause. Your life already claps for you in silence. And that's the paradox. Women aren't drawn to power that shouts. They're drawn to power that stays calm while the world screams. She doesn't want to be the star. She wants to orbit something unmovable, and that something is you. When you no longer need to impress her, when your energy speaks louder than your words, she'll forget every other man in her past, because nothing is more seductive than peace wrapped in masculine strength. That's what she'll surrender to. That's what she'll follow, and she might never understand why she wants you so badly, but she'll spend months trying to be worthy of you. 6. The Stoic truth. What real women crave, when no one's watching, if you're in your 30s or beyond, you've been fed lies. Society says, get rich, get girls, flash it, flex it, fake it. But the real ones know that's surface-level nonsense. Because when the lights go off and the world goes quiet, what women truly crave isn't money or fame. It's clarity, discipline, stillness. They crave a man who knows where he's going, a man who moves with direction, not desperation, a man who doesn't need her, but chooses her from a place of fullness. You don't need to be rich to make her tremble. You just need to be the kind of man who can't be shaken. That's the highest level of masculine energy, and that's what separates the average man from the rare one. So, if you've made it this far, drop a comment right now that says, I am not done. Because the moment you choose this path, you stop chasing approval and start building presence. You become the storm's center, the man who makes women feel calm, safe, and alive at the same time. And that, brother, is the essence of Grandmother Minds. If this message hit you deep, if it stirred something inside you, then smash that like button. Not for the algorithm, but as a declaration that you're done being average. Subscribe. Not because I said so, but because you know you were built for more. We're building a tribe here of grounded, powerful, stoic men who understand what real attraction is. More fire is coming, more truth, more I decoded. Until next time, stay grounded, stay powerful, stay dangerous.